All right, Ian, we have a Patreon.
We do. Patreon.com/CU podcast. I do a weekly writing.
You just did a nice little write-up.
I did a write-up.
What was it? It
was about tiny cats.
Tiny cats.
It's about tiny cats. I've been really into Googling tiny cats lately when I've been very stressed. The tiny feline friends have been good to me. And I'm not talking like kittens or house cats. I'm talking there are some really goddamn small wild cats out there.
Oh, that desert one.
The sand cat?
The sand cat.
Sand cat's a goddamn bruiser, man. Sometimes they don't even drink water. They get all their moisture from bug guts.
Wow.
That's a hard ass cat.
The Pallas cat, is that a small cat?
Pallas cat is considered a small wild cat,
but it's a regular size cat.
It's not teeny.
They're like the furry looking abominable snowman looking guys that are up in the steps.
The Pallas cat is awesome. They look so grumpy.
Yeah, they're hard to get them on film because they're hiding in the fucking mountains.
Because they have attitude problems.
Hey, they're trying to survive, Ian, and eat rats. Anyway,
love tiny wild cats.
So we do a Patreon poll topic once a week, Ian, that you can vote on as well, and Ian does a hangout. In third place, what video game should be turned into a Broadway musical? My singing aspirations are done. In second place, PC games that deserve a reboot/remake, 30%. And in first place, Ian, what are video games that you are ashamed publicly to be a fan of?
So I don't have an actual title to a game, but I will talk about something that is a problematic. It's an embarrassing type of game to love. I love
Masturbation Simulator.
No. I love shitty slot machine games. I used to sit in front of a computer and play just a fucking awful slot machine game forever. I would sit there and just bet and spin and watch myself make fake money, and I would do it forever. It's one of those things that I think of like old people.
You're the old grandma.
Yeah, old people like these.
The sights and sounds, repetition, and
old grandmas. Yes, exactly. Old grandmas that didn't know about that existed long before video games. They might have one of those. They make LCD ones. Everyone's seen the
little slot LCD
slot machines. I once took up about a 4-hour flight from Buffalo to Chicago playing an LCD slot machine game. Just constantly hitting go.
And hearing the sound and seeing it spin.
Just seeing it spin, seeing it go, and yeah, I like.
Battery lasted that long? Okay.
An LCD, yeah, those things fucking last
the
forever.
Watch battery.
With the watch battery.
It was like literally one of those one shape like that, like a little rectangle.
It was a rectangle, and yeah, it just had
buttons.
It had the windows. Yeah, you could hold them or stop them, and those things.
It was just slots. There was no
there was no poker. There was nothing that took any skill. There was nothing that took any skill. Nothing that was any fun. And I sat there. I have a game on my phone that I still go back to, and I don't play phone games very often. I have to actually look up the name. It's like Tower of Doom or something like that, but it's a slot machine with RPG trappings around it. You can heal by rolling the right reels. You can attack, things like that. But it's still just a slot machine. And I love shit like that. Sometimes I just want to be mindlessly amused and pass the time. Have you ever heard of clicker games? Do you know what clicker games are?
No.
Okay. There's one on the iPhone that I had, and it sounds dirty, but it's not. It's adorable. It's called like 1 Million Girlfriends or something like that. Basically, clicker games are literally you just tap something. And as you tap something, it increases money or something else that you have.
Okay.
And then you use those resources to buy upgrades so that when you tap, you earn more money to buy more upgrades. But there's no end to it. They're called infinite clickers, endless clickers. There's like, you can pretend that there's skill. Some of them try to get strategic, but really all you're doing is clicking so that you can buy stuff in game to make your clicks more valuable.
Do these games cost money? Are they free?
They are oftentimes free, but there are some that people charge money for. People love these.
So they're just time sinks. They're just like you sit there with doing nothing and just clicking.
Yes. So I think the name for the type of game is actually called an idle game. A very, very popular one that came out like 2 years ago was called Cookie Clicker. Everyone fucking played Cookie Clicker for like a week.
Okay.
And I think everyone grew tired of them. But I do tend to keep a game like that on my phone. If I
wear out your touch screen, keep clicking it.
It's
not tactile on your smartphone now versus just like a button.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to actually click a mouse or press a button. But yeah, they're great for passing the time on like the train. Sometimes I can't focus like on a book or an actual game on the train, but I don't want to fucking stare at other people and just like weird them out. So I'll just fucking play a slot machine or play some endless clicker game that is an total waste of time. So yeah,
I would be ashamed of that. That's just so strange. Where I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's something that people don't know about me. But like sometimes I literally just need something like that to pass the time because I cannot focus on anything with depth, especially when traveling.
Did you have those fucking little whirly things that were popular a few years back? What the fuck were those things? The spinners.
I still use mine.
Oh, you do?
I have one at home. I was using it last night. Actually, Bobby gave it to me.
Yeah, because Bobby had a fucking probably a truck full.
I remember Bobby came over to me at a convention and goes,
"Bobby from SoCal Retro Gaming Expo."
Bobby goes, "Yeah, Bobby, yeah, good dude, runs SoCal." He comes over to me and goes, "Ian, beers, Corona, Budweiser, or Coors?" And he's like, "I know those aren't like great, but which one?" And I was like, Corona. And I thought Bobby was going to grab me a Corona and bring it over to the table. And
Bobby's a great host.
He is. He's a fantastic host. He comes back with a Corona fidget spinner and goes, "I have a billion of these." I'm like, I don't remember what convention it was. It wasn't at Retro. He's like, "That's what I'm selling at my booth over blah, blah,
Bobby,
blah."
You didn't give me a Corona spinner.
So he gives me a Corona spinner, and Vonnie and I joke about it all the time, but it sits on my coffee table and I pick it up and fuck with it every night because it's heavy and it goes forever. But unlike normal fidget spinners, instead of like the usual 3 rings, it's like 8 little Corona bottles coming off the center spoke.
Oh, I want one now, Bobby. What the hell?
I love it.
I don't have any fidget spinners. I've never owned one.
I love
were they popular? Like, was it 17 and 18 they were popular?
Yeah, 16, 17, 18. I mean, but I am the person that those things exist for. And people like me...
Because you're a little anxious and maybe it just calms you a little bit.
People like me did not disappear when fidget spinners stopped being popular. So I
had
still...
those fucking things. You had those things.
I still use one. I don't take it out in public. But yeah, sitting around home, I will fucking spin that thing all day.
I'm going to call you after the podcast, Bobby. Fucking annoying. Because I know you had literally 10,000 of those laying around.
Probably you still have some.
I think you're probably selling them for $1. Remember that people were getting $10 for those, or for like fancy ones?
Yeah.
Just garbage from China.
Well,
that's all it was. Like ball bearings inside.
This is the premium fidget spinner, and we had no way of knowing.
And I like Corona. That's like one of the few beers I can actually drink. I'm like, oh, this is nice in the summer.
It's perfectly acceptable for a macro brew. But also so is Miller High Life. Drink responsibly.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. All right.
So I was going to say, okay. So my answers probably, obviously, we're all about sex positivity in 2020. So nothing to be ashamed of.
No.
But I will say, listen, there's some people that look down on stuff like the Leisure Suit Larry series. I always love the Leisure Suit Larry games, obviously to different degrees. But the last one I had that was fun was Leisure Suit Larry Love for Sale. That's the one with the by that point, by 4 and 5 they had the voice acting, right? Or 5 and 6.
I think 5 was where it started.
So Love for Sale, they were still one of them they were still like you can get on disc without voices or the CD version. Mm-hmm. But so Love for Sale was really fun. That's where they had the Where's Dildo thing. The Where's Waldo little dildo shaped guys were hidden everywhere. Scratch and sniff cards. But yes, the voice acting is great. You get beautifully drawn women, and there was one that was great because she reminded me of Marissa Tomei from My Cousin Vinny with that fucking accent, which gets me every time. And that was one of the women in the game. We're talking like 15-year-old Pat, for God's sake, 16-year-old.
Love for Sale really was a great looking game.
Beautiful art.
I just looked it up because in my mind I remember I never had that one, but I remember like looking at it in one of the PC. I think Sierra even had a magazine of their own at the time.
Same sort of artwork as the one before that, which was when you were at the spa.
Yeah, it's really, really
it's well done.
Great artwork.
And there was a dominatrix woman. There was the 2 blonde mom and daughter team. West Country Western Singers, and there's a few others.
Yeah, Shape Up or Slip Out is not quite as nice looking, but it uses the same style.
Yeah, we're talking, this is the peak of Sierra right here, like the mid-90s before they went down and sold off. So anyway, not that I'm ashamed to be a Lucius Hilarious thing, because a lot of people love them, but some people say, oh, it's kind of sleazy, and it's like, yeah, but they're fun. They're actually pretty clever. Allo's writing's pretty clever when he was writing them there, and it wasn't just to gawk at women. That was part of it, obviously. But the other thing, though, is probably a little sleazier. Obviously, back when I was younger, I loved playing strip poker games when I was younger. And yes, you're seeing naked women, but it's a weird combination. I don't know. The gambling thing and the reward of seeing women naked was just always something that just like more. It's like
it grabs you.
Yeah. Yes. Or you grab yourself potentially.
The gambling is fun, and then it's like I gotta keep going.
But to me, it was like, okay, you can look at any porn site or strip poker. It's just like, I don't know. It just there was some, they weren't even all good strip poker games. There were ones that came out that had, like, they hired women. It was full motion video. But I'm talking the ones where it was even just literally they took or stole, or you can make your own still picture sets.
I was gonna say I remember the ones where you could make your own picture sets.
Yeah, so you can download some off the web where it was like, oh, you download the game, but people made 100 different women packs or guys that you could load up, and then I think they were like .vst files. It was like something strip.
VST is not right, but it's something around that. It's something like that. Yeah.
I remember that. But
VST is our synthesizer plugins.
That's for MIDI stuff or audio stuff.
They're plugins.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was maybe it was .vsp or something where like people made their own strip poker women packs or male packs, and they were even like cartoon or animated ones, and you can load them in. So it was like you could either buy or get a pirate version of these games, and you had literally hundreds of opponents you can play. And they would actually also adjust, though.
VSP.
It was VSP. I was right. What was the game called?
I don't know, but
but that was
PC video strip poker.
Yes,
VSP.
It was a standard. It was a game back then. They probably still fucking make it. I mean, I haven't played it probably like 15, 20 years. But anyway, so the whole point was that you had almost an infinite amount of opponents you can play, but there was also rudimentary AI where I guess the programmers, you can have, like, it was probably on a scale or like medium, hard, or easy difficulty based upon your opponent.
Oh my god. So VSPpoker.com is still available.
What?
It's still up, and the website looks like it has not been up. It's VSP-poker.com.
So they still sell this like 25 years later.
I think it's just a free download.
Copyright 2018.
A free demo. Oh, there's a free demo. So yes, a VSP Poker Ultra. But the website.
Oh, this is video as well. I think at this point in time, you can do either. I think
the website looks very, very old.
So that was the standard bearer.
Yes,
there was probably, like, I'd say 3 to 5 commercial ones. Even going back to the 80s, Ian, there were strip poker games that were made and with like EGA graphics that you can find potentially in computer stores. I mean, they had them back then. Anyway, so yeah, strip poker. Not that I'm ashamed of it, but that's probably to say, hey Pat, you like really sleazy stuff? And I was like, I was never into like the sex simulator games. Those are kind of weird, like Virtual Valerie sort of thing. I was like, eh.
Here's my thing about Aerogay when it comes to like the visual novels and stuff like that. I have tried to play some of them. I had interest, but honestly, the fact that they always put you in the shoes of some absolute fucking idiot, and for
the visual novels.
Yeah, and like it's not fun to play.
I think I've played 2 or 3 of them where they're always like, hey, you're a guy, somehow you have to stay with a Japanese family, and there's like 5 girls that are schoolgirls, and it's just like, all right, I mean, I get where we're going with this, but they're not super realistic, this scenario.
Well, I mean, at some point, just like with the virtual strip poker and the visual novels, there is fun to gamifying things that you want to do in real life, but you can also just open the picture packs and look at the pictures.
Sure. Oh, the CNET editor's rating for VSP Poker is 4.5 stars. I wonder if
out
of 5.
Oh, wow.
I mean, it was wow. There's still a download to CNET. Remember CNET?
I do.
The download link still exists. Well, now it's just download.cnet.com. Wow, there's a lot of strip poker games. Sorry, we're going off. We can do a whole strip poker roundup. I'm sure. You know what? Now I feel like I'm going to get into sleazy mode again. I'm going to see how has strip poker technology games advanced the past 15, 20 years. I want to see how they've advanced.
Might download this demo of VSP Ultra.
All right. So anything else that you're ashamed of?
No.
There. Okay. We were a little sleazy this time. Thanks for your Patreon poll topic there. And we'll see you next week for that.